KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
What a game! What a game!
Get off my lawn.
And welcome to Get Off My Lawn.
I love that. I absolutely love it.
I'm Dave Taffet. I'm here with Bonnie Mathias. And Bonnie's from the previous show. I'm from the next show. Jim is from this show. And
he's not here.
Not here.
So we are.
So we are. But I thought we'd start with Jim's column from this week because it is his show.
After all.
It is his show, so we'll start with his column. He was talking about how the city is planning to celebrate now. They weren't originally planning to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Kennedy assassination. Oops, I said the word.
Said the A word.
Said the word.
God.
The city doesn't want us to use the A word, assassination.
That's so just weird.
It's
just weird.
It's 50 years ago. Nobody blames Dallas. I mean, anybody who does, let them.
Yeah,
let
whatever.
Them.
You're in the minority.
What was the population of Dallas at the time? 300,000 or 400,000?
Yeah,
something like that.
It wasn't very large. And now we're like, what, 2 million?
No, well, the city itself is about 1.2, and the metropolitan area 5 million.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
Most of us weren't here.
David, those are old numbers.
Okay, well...
Well, but seriously, how many of us were actually here 50 years ago?
Oh, well...
Clint was.
Yeah, 29-year-old Clint.
Okay. That's what the other thing I was going to say. A lot of the folks that are listening or that are here were not alive and have no clue. None.
But it was an assassination.
It was.
It did take place here. It's our most popular tourist attraction.
Exactly.
Own up to it. It happened here.
Over it.
And let's just embrace what happened.
I know. Maybe it's because the first 3 letters. Maybe that's, the first
then
3 and then the next 3. Maybe that's what it is.
So what should we call it? The Kennedy murder? The Kennedy killing? The Kennedy shooting? Now, one of the things that he suggests in the article is that one of the problems is that Kennedy was sent to Parkland Hospital, had to wait for 48 hours before anybody saw him.
That is so wrong. I love it. That's hysterical. I don't get the paper until I get here on Saturday,
right,
so I didn't get to read that. That's great.
I had a friend that worked at Parkland, and I asked her, I said, did they keep the room that he died in? Like, do they have that there? She said, no, most of the hospital's been remodeled, but they keep one room in that era still there.
Actually, they did for years. We used to have a volunteer program that the Jewish community did on Christmas Day.
Okay.
And so for a number of years, I volunteered in the emergency room in Parkland.
God love you.
Oh, believe me, that was, and all my job was to talk to people as they came in to prioritize. My favorite was one guy who came in, he said, well, I have a hole. I said, what kind of hole? He said, oh, a bullet made it. I said, wait here. I ran.
Be right back.
Be right back.
I have a hole. Oh, a bullet made it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Man.
But at that time, and this had to have been during the 80s, that room was still preserved. It was emergency room 1. It was right off of the main waiting room, and that's where Kennedy was killed, and everybody knew that.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, now the emergency room, which is like several floors high.
Oh, yeah, it's
I mean, it's like
huge.
it's half the hospital.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wow.
yeah. You know,
But we can't say.
but we can't say the assassination. If you look at the morning news,
I've
look at the
seen-
front
yeah.
page of the morning news. You know what it says?
50.
Uh-huh.
Something about 50.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Doesn't say anything about what it was.
Right. What 50?
Yeah,
what are you
it's
talking about?
50.
JFK. I think it says JFK at 50.
I think that's it. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. JFK at 50.
No, JFK never lived to be.
He didn't live to be 50. And so, what does that mean? That is just so retarded.
You know, own up to it. It was an assassination. It was a horrible thing that happened here in this city.
Well, it's
But
certainly
his-
not the only thing horrible that's happened here in this city. My gosh. Why don't we, okay, look, did we celebrate the lady, the black woman that was hanged back in, did we celebrate her?
No.
Okay.
You know, we have Tony on line 4. Yeah. Hi, Tony.
Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
All right. You know, my thing is this. You know, some media or some consultant has talked to the city and said, "Hey, let's sell this as a positive thing." And ever since that assassination, Dallas has been trying to remake history and say, "Hey, it happened," but my issue is that everyone sees the tape where he got shot, but no one really shows the tape where there were racial epithets said to him when he was coming down Main Street.
Right. Yep.
You know, when people here in Texas who are still alive this day who did not like him.
Right.
And the thing is this, for them to kind of put it on a pop spin, I understand that, but the whole thing is then you're rewriting history and say, okay, it was a tragedy, but what about the tragedy of the people in this area say, hey, he's a Yankee, you know, he don't belong here.
Oh, he was an N lover. He was a Jew lover. He was, you know, it was horrible.
And that must be added to this celebration. But I guarantee you that won't be added. You know why? Because some consultants say, hey, let's use this as a way to rebrand out.
Well, but not only will that not be included, just the word assassination has been banned from all city commemorations. You cannot use that word.
So at the end of the day, the city has not dealt with its past.
No.
Like Bonnie was saying about being hanged.
Right.
The city wants to erase the past.
Right.
But they don't want to deal with it, but they want us to celebrate. I won't be down to celebrate
Nope.
because my thing is this. Show me history in its raw form so we can deal with it. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
Tony.
for calling, Tony.
He is so right.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Have you seen at the JFK Museum downtown, which also paints its own picture of what happened, but at the JFK Museum, some of the ads that were in the Morning News and the Times-Herald that were just horrible, racist, you know, get out of here, we don't want you in the city. Yeah. They were disgusting.
And yet, we don't want to say assassination, but can we say bigotry and racism?
No, I'm sure.
That's probably not going to be cool either, is it?
No, it won't.
Dang. I'm running out of stuff to say then if I can't talk about that.
At 50.
At 50. I mean, wow. You know, this is one of the most racist cities in the South. Let's remember that the schools were still segregated in the late 60s into the early 70s. The courts had to come in here and just file all kinds of injunctions and just to integrate the school system.
We have Esquire on line 1.
All right.
Hi, Esquire.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Fine. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, bud.
I was just telling Serena that, I had gotten out of service, you know, and I was working at a local company. I won't call the name. It was on Atkins Street. And something, I almost went to see that situation, you know, when he was coming to town. But I didn't get to go, but I had a coworker who said that I am glad. And that really shook me up. I couldn't believe that. But we had people who hated this man.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, they did. They hated him. And that was where I became politically involved. You know, learning to, go into voting and all that.
Good
but
for
I just
you.
want to say that, you know, I'm not saying the celebration part, I have no comment about that. But he was one of my favorites because I guess you could say he was my first favorite president.
Mm-hmm.
And I was old enough to vote and had a family started. So
Yeah.
you guys have a good day. And
Thanks.
if anybody in there is a father, happy Father's Day.
That's right.
Thank you,
It is
Esquire.
Father's
That's
Day
very
tomorrow.
sweet. Tomorrow's Father's Day. That's right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Esquire. Good to hear from you.
Do you know, my father met Kennedy during
Really?
the campaign in 1960. They were on a highway. I grew up in New York, and they were on the East Side Highway, which is always jammed with traffic, was back in 1960 also.
Still is today.
My father was stopped. The motorcade was right next to him. He unrolled the window, reached out, and said, "Good luck, Mr. Kennedy." And Kennedy unrolled his window and reached his hand out, and they shook hands right there in the middle of the
That is
East Side
so
Highway.
cool.
Yeah. Can you imagine that today?
Oh, my God.
I mean, the highway would have been shut down in order for the
For the motorcade to go
by.
That's right.
That's what we do
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
All
that's
as a
what we
result
do.
of the Kennedy unpleasantness that happened here in Dallas. That's what we'll call it, the unpleasantness.
Unpleasantness. Okay, that's good. The unpleasantness.
But as a result of it, but before that, people were very, very accessible.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, the motorcade was open car.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pope that had his little, he wasn't protected like he is now,
Right.
or was, because Pope Francis, he's right out there amongst them. I like that guy. He's cool. I'm not Catholic or anything, but he's pretty cool. But it's crazy what we've become because of this. And moving forward, we're not really personally accessible anymore.
Right.
Look at the check that you have to go through to go to the courthouse, if you want to go file a complaint at the EEOC, you have to go through a federal checkpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know why, but I guess we're afraid.
We're afraid of everything.
Everything.
If I want to go into City Hall, if I'm covering some event and I want to get into the City Council chambers, I have to have my camera bag,
That's
everything
right.
checked.
That's right, yeah.
Everything checked. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Shows
It's
the
just
difference
crazy.
of what's happened. One of the other things that the city is not allowing, they're going to close Dealey Plaza for 2 weeks before the event, 2 weeks after the event.
Why?
Just during the event. Because who's usually in Dealey Plaza? There are lots of people who are talking about conspiracy theories and giving their own personal tours. They don't want to open this up to anything real
Controversial.
and real Dallas. Because that is Dallas. That's we have people who hang out in Dealey Plaza and tell the story of what
Right.
happened.
So all those guys that there's a couple of them that actually make their living selling their
own personal tour. Yeah.
And their own personal theories of what happened. They're not going to be there 2 weeks before and 2 weeks
after, when all of the tourists will be in town.
That's a great idea.
Isn't that a good
It's kind
idea?
of like hiding the homeless people. We do that. We do that all
well.
the time.
We do it well.
No, we don't have any homeless. What are you talking about? We don't have homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
If we have something big going on in Dallas, you will not see a homeless person anywhere. Because
We take 'em, we hide 'em.
We take them and hide them. And then when it's all over, we let them go.
Right.
Man, what a city. What a place to be.
So there will be none of that. And anybody who talks about, I don't think Lee Harvey Oswald did it alone. You're a conspiracy theorist.
Conspiracy.
Do you know, I had a friend lived in an apartment building on Turtle Creek, and one of his neighbors happened to have been in Dealey Plaza the time of the shooting.
Of the
unpleasantness.
Yes.
So she said she was standing there. There was a shot that she heard that came from behind. She saw the puffs of smoke from behind. She also heard the shots that came from the school book depository.
Wow.
That means more than one person. More than one person makes it conspiracy. Am I a conspiracy theorist? No. Do I think more than one person was involved? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. It's...
I mean, even the Zapruder film and all of the CSI type stuff that has been done since it happened. You can say there was only one all you want to, but there was still.
I'm just telling you.
3 shots.
I'm just telling you what somebody who was
That
standing
era.
there she was there. That's what she told me.
Wow.
So do I absolutely know that with all certainty that that's what actually happened? I don't know anybody else who was standing in Dealey Plaza who said no. We have Josephine on line 2. Hi, Josephine.
Yeah. First, I want to say where JFK died in the room in Parkland. They turned it into an X-ray room, and they have a little sign saying that that's the room where he had died, and they needed the space, and and so on. Sure. But other than that, I just one thing about JFK, to that of when Santos Rodriguez was killed by a Dallas police officer.
Yeah.
If you remember that. And the chief of police at that time was saying, leave him alone, Kane, the one that shot Santos. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the mindset, the mentality, the brain of the Dallas police officers, at that time. And these were the same officers or the same police force that looked into JFK assassination. Oh, right. Is that the word? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, Santos was killed, Russian roulette, and the chief police comes out saying, oh, leave him alone. He's going through he's having a hard time. He feels bad. And we have to protest to make them charge Kane for killing Santos. Do you remember that?
I do, and I don't remember all the details of it.
Well, I'm just talking about the police force at that time, versus JFK to Santos. That's all I wanted to say.
Good. Thank you for calling, Josephine.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's nice to know that at least there's a little plaque in that room, though.
Well,
getting back to the Kennedy
assassination. Right.
They remembered
Kennedy unfortunate accident.
Hey!
There, unfortunate. No, it wasn't an accident. Never mind. That's not.
It was not an accident. We need to take a break in a minute. You know what I thought Parkland should do for their new hospital as their new slogan? Kennedy died here. You can too.
Oh, good. I like
that slogan
that.
For the hospital.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's good.
I think that's good. Embrace it.
We've had Ojedas that have died there as well. So there you go.
You're listening to Get Off My Lawn. I'm not Jim Schutze. Neither is Bonnie. We'll be back with more right after this.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
When they're gone for good. This is Scott from KNON's Texas Blues Radio telling you don't miss out on some great blues. KNON's Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 Blues CD. It's a CD put together by real blues fans for real blues fans like you. Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 features great local blues from Michael J. and the Paul Bird Band, JJ and the Detonators, the Chris Watson Band, the Two Tones, Rough Cut Blues Band, Jeff Stone with Charlie Love, Dave Millsap, Sirloin and the Ass Kicking Machine, Tutu Jones, Blues Boy Bo, Buddy Whittington, Andrea Dawson, Kirkland James, Sonny Colley, and Johnny Red and the Roosters. Get a copy now at Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie, Recordtown in Fort Worth, and in Dallas at Bill's Records. This is a Dallas Blues collector's item. A very limited amount of vinyl copies can be found at Forever Young Records, the sponsor of this great blues project. CD downloads are available at cdbaby.com. Whether you get it as a download, on vinyl, or on CD, all the proceeds will benefit KNON. For more info on Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, visit knon.org.
And welcome back to Get Off My Lawn. I'm David Taffet, and I'm here with the foul-mouthed Bonnie Mathias.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. I love that. It's so cool.
Today's election day.
Yes.
And as you just said, get your butt to, if you live in District 5 or District 14, go vote. I don't care who you vote for, but vote. There are 82,000 people who live in District 5 so far. In the original election, about 1,100 people voted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's
that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
District 14 did much better.
Yes, much better turnout.
About 3,000 people voted.
Yeah, woohoo. And guess what? There's about 82,000 people in that district, too.
Yeah,
How about that?
Yeah, District 14, Bobby Abtahi is running against Philip Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby has most of the support of... Actually, Bobby has more support in the Oaklawn side of that district, and Philip has more support in the East Dallas side of that district. That district goes from Oaklawn, kind of makes a U through downtown, then goes up like the M streets.
Right.
Angela Hunt is the representative for that. She's supporting Kingston.
Yes.
Philip has come out strongly against the tollway and against fracking in the city. Bobby has specifically not taken a stand on those things.
Yeah.
So if that's your issue, then you would support Philip. Both candidates on LGBT issues, both candidates, I would say, are completely on that side and will be an ally.
Good.
You're saying, yeah, but there were at least 4 candidates running in the original who wouldn't even talk to the gay community, wouldn't campaign in Oaklawn.
Thank God we got rid of those.
How do you become the representative of Oaklawn and not campaign in Oaklawn?
I don't know.
Yeah, so
that's how do you? Obviously they didn't.
They didn't. It would be kind of like, the new Pleasant Grove district. Tell me about the candidates there.
We have Ricky Callahan, who is a 30-year resident of Pleasant Grove, and we have Jesse Diaz, who also is, I guess he's a resident of Pleasant Grove. He's running. So they represent a very diverse community. We have lots of Latinos. We have we've got black folks, and there's a few white folks left there.
That district is 7% white, and Callahan got the most votes.
Right. And there's been a lot of talk. Well,
and Callahan's white.
And Callahan's white. Jesse is Hispanic. I went to Spanish class with Rick. Rick is a real estate agent in Pleasant Grove, so I can tell you he can communicate. So it's not a question of whether or not he speaks Spanish. It's whether or not these two men are qualified to represent Pleasant Grove. I don't care what color you are. I get so frustrated. Gromer Jeffers wrote a column last week talking about how important it is, and the black community didn't do this, and the Hispanic community didn't do this. How come we can't just vote for the person who's going to represent us, and it doesn't matter what color they are, or what gender they are, or what orientation they are?
Okay, let me give a good example. I'm from Oak Cliff. Our new representative, Von Seal.
Yes. Lucky you.
Yeah, lucky me. Okay, Von Seal has every year in the Gay Pride Parade has refused to participate. She's the only council person who refuses. That's fine. You're not comfortable. You're not comfortable in a parade. Okay. She also refuses to sign a letter of welcome. That brings in thousands of people into the city. And she refuses to sign a letter of welcome that every other city council person and the mayor always signs, has for at least 10 years, welcoming people to the city. She's not doing her job as far as I'm concerned, because it is the job of the city council to welcome people to their city. Yes, I don't care whether you like them or not.
And she did not have an opponent, if I'm not
Yes, she did.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. Oh. She had a couple of them, and one of them was fairly well funded. But that's the power of incumbency.
There you go. That and not getting your butt out to vote.
And people not,
I mean, guys, the primary.
82,000 people in that district, too. Yeah. And how many people voted there? About 4,000.
See, that's just crazy. We, as a collective, are not doing our job by not voting. if you want to have a voice in what happens at City Hall, in Austin, in D.C., you have to vote.
Now, I know we can't endorse, right, Clint?
Right.
Okay,
No.
Clint is saying we can't endorse, but once the election's over, can I say Von Seal is not representing me, will never represent me, and I am going to do everything I can to get rid of her.
Okay.
I can't say that.
Okay, darn.
Okay, that breaks our rules. Okay, I
that
will
breaks
not
the
say
rules.
that
Okay,
in
well,
future. Has nothing to do with her being black.
No, it's
Royce
the
West.
job.
Royce West is my state senator. I voted for him. Eddie Bernice is my congressperson.
dearly.
She has been on my show. I have voted for her. I've supported.
Been on my
Has
show, too.
nothing to do with. Von Seal does not represent me. She started it. She started it when she said she would not welcome people to our community.
Isn't that bizarre?
She started
Wouldn't
it as
you
far as I'm
want
concerned.
people to
All I want, and I'm on the side
Because
of
you know what his shirt says? He's a loud, pushy Jew.
get over it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
I like that. That's good.
And I even get it when somebody says, I'm just not comfortable riding in a parade.
Okay.
I get that.
That's fine.
I get that.
Yeah. You're not comfortable
Just
signing
sign a
your
letter.
name either?
Just sign a letter to welcome people to the city that you will never even see. I promise you. So,
That's sad.
Rick Perry this week.
Oh, Governor Fancy here. He's been on, hasn't he?
He has been busy
Woohoo!
vetoing bills, but I agree with
Yep.
him on most of these vetoes, I have to say.
You
like
do?
one, of course, because like the first one was the equal pay for women
Oh,
thing.
yeah, we don't want that.
So,
hell no.
I know you know that you don't deserve to be paid the
No,
same thing as a man doing the exact same
absolutely.
job that you are with the
That's
same
why
experience.
I have a union. Yeah, that's
Right.
why I have a union, because
Good thing.
that's right, because that way I do get equal pay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important.
Why?
But I don't know. Slick Rick doesn't think it's important.
Well,
how can you not have? That's federal law, isn't it?
Well, it is, but here's what Texas law is, and this is where it would have brought Texas into the
next
19th century.
Oh,
yeah.
the 19th century. Good.
Right now, you can sue if you find out that if we're doing the same job, I'm being paid twice what you are, not just because I deserve it, but because I'm a man.
Because I'm a man.
But you can sue. You have 180 days to file a lawsuit. Now, not 180 days from the time that you found out, but 180 days from the time you were first paid the wrong amount. Now, what this bill would have done was given you time, like, I didn't know. I was doing this for a number of years. And it's not normal for workers to sit there and talk about, so what are you getting paid?
What do you make?
getting
Oh, no,
paid?"
they never
You
do
don't-
that.
But you
Nah.
well, but no, most people I think don't do that, especially, maybe on an hourly worker talking to each other about, I hope you realize that after, a certain amount, you get a raise to this.
Right.
And there is that, I'm talking about on a slightly higher level where it's just not polite to talk about
How much
you're making.
Yeah.
And it does affect, this is where the glass ceiling comes in, because once you start rising, it's not, hey, I just got this job and you know what they're paying me?
Yeah.
You don't do that.
You don't do that.
You don't do that.
Because there's some guy going, yeah, too bad, I'm making twice that.
well, but you want him to,
Well,
actually.
sure,
And you want him to do that within 180 days in Texas, because otherwise you lost your right to sue
That's
for equality.
That's it.
So, Rick Perry doesn't like that idea.
He doesn't like ethics either. Did you notice that?
I noticed that.
Cut
all the money for ethics
That's right. We're not having
violations.
we are having nobody investigate these ethics issues.
Right.
No way, no how.
Now, what the issue is on the state level, he also vetoed money for the Travis County District Attorney's Office.
Isn't that convenient?
Texas has this odd thing, and it is odd. It's really peculiar to Texas, where statewide fraud and like Tom DeLay.
Oh yeah,
That
my buddy
came-
Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, that, and I know you were a fan.
Oh yeah, big
I know you were a fan. Clint was his campaign manager.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, Clint was.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't even know that name.
Right,
Okay, that's cool.
So he was speaker.
Does
of the
Enron?
House.
Does Enron ring a bell?
Yeah.
No. Oh.
House Majority Leader. He wasn't Speaker. Was he Speaker? House Majority Leader.
He was House
Majority Leader.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's investigated, but under this peculiar Texas law, the Travis County District Attorney investigates anything that happens within the state that's considered unethical, fraud, that kind of thing.
Right.
Rosemary Lemberg, who Rick Perry's had it in for a while because not only is she a Democrat, not only is she a woman, but she's also a lesbian.
Oh, jeez. Three strikes, sister. Damn.
And so he's added
she's
in
not
for
black too, is she?
No, she's not.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry. But, Jewish.
Oh, good. That's even better.
Loudmouth Jew like me.
That's even better.
She was arrested a month or two ago drunk driving. It has to be 2 or 3 months ago, drunk driving.
Yeah.
Didn't hurt anybody, but she was arrested. Right. She actually said, I'm pleading guilty.
Right, I did it.
She went to jail.
And said that she would, get treatment and blah, blah, blah.
And would get treatment.
Yeah.
Which is normal first offense.
Yep.
Actually, it's not normal to have gone to jail.
No.
But she said, I'm going to take my punishment because of my position.
That's right.
So Rick Perry is saying because she lost the public confidence.
Didn't he lose that a long time
I'm not
ago?
Defending her drunk driving.
Right.
Didn't he lose...
He lost my public confidence a long time ago.
Do you remember, it was his third campaign, I think, that video that they had, it was a dashboard webcam video of him screaming at an officer who had pulled him over. Do you know who I am? That kind of thing.
No, and you're not Reese Witherspoon either. She tried that. Didn't work for her either.
Why didn't we lose confidence in him?
I don't know.
Well, with Lemberg, did she do wrong? Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is she going for treatment? Well, if she isn't, you're right, she should resign.
Yes, yeah.
She should resign if she's not. She went to prison. She got out early for good behavior, so she was sentenced to 45 days. She spent 2 weeks. They let her out after that.
Everything should be fine. She paid her debt to society, so to speak.
She did more than what normally
a first offender would do. Absolutely.
Now, he is punishing the entire... It's his excuse to, first of all, get rid of her, and it's his excuse to not investigate ethics violations.
We'll have
because
none of that.
Where are they going to be looking, do you think?
Would that be in the governor's mansion?
Here's one that he vetoed that I just love. There was a bill, bipartisan. Everything he vetoed was bipartisan. Yeah. So if we had a system to get it back into the legislature to override...
Which we don't.
Every one of these things would be
back.
Okay,
yeah.
So this law would have added new prohibitions for school districts. It would have prevented them from selling beverages with added sweeteners, milk with more than 1% fat, or juices with less than 100% juice. So in other words, it would have prevented them from selling carbonated drinks and,
crap.
That's a good way to put it.
Sugar crap.
To kids
who don't need it.
In school.
Right. Which is where they're supposed to be safe, not with your teacher with a gun. Oh, God, that's the other thing now. Oh, yeah, we open the Capitol. Oh, you want to carry a gun in the Capitol? No problem. Come on in. Seriously.
Well, you have a license.
Yeah, if you got a CHL, concealed handgun license, you can carry a gun in the state capital of Texas.
Not only can you go, you can avoid the...
you don't even have to go through the security. Just, I got a gun, and you go right on in. Mm-hmm. Oh, my Lord, help me. I know, right?
I love that.
Jeez. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, he vetoed the Made in Texas.
Yes. Okay, this one I really don't get. Well, I do get.
Yeah, you do.
I do get it.
You get it.
Yeah. Okay, so Made in Texas. So this bill would have allowed or would have insisted that any Texas agency, if you're buying something and you can get it for the same price from a Texas supplier as opposed to somebody not from Texas, you buy it from Texas first.
Yeah.
So same price.
Run to the next time you're in Austin.
Vetoed that.
Yeah, veto that, because next time you go to Austin, if you go to the state capitol, be sure to go to the gift shop. in the state capitol, because there is absolutely nothing in there made in the USA, let alone Texas.
Right.
Everything. I swear, everything we turned over, made in Thailand, made in China.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're in the Texas gift shop, but there's nothing in here that's made in Texas. And the kids that are interning in there go, I don't know. I love that.
But these are big things.
These are huge things.
He's talking about the Texas miracle. Well, one way that the economy that is doing so well.
The one with the minimum wage jobs.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And well, actually, a lot of these jobs wouldn't be minimum wage jobs because they'd be good factory jobs.
Factory jobs, right?
And it's not going to affect that many things because we don't make that much stuff in Texas.
No.
But maybe it would start some new businesses here.
You think?
If we knew that the state was going to be buying certain things, and certain people could go to the state and say, what are some things that you buy a lot of?
Right.
I want a list because I'd like to start a business here.
So I can manufacture stuff, create jobs. Create jobs. Maybe let them join a union.
Okay.
Oh, my God. That's why he vetoed it. There you go. I got it. Because somebody might want to open a factory.
See, I have a better one than you do for why he vetoed that.
Oh.
Because it's easier to get kickbacks from an out-of-the-country company that's going to take what you're bringing in and put it into a bank account in their country than it is to get it here and put it in your Chase account.
Silly me. Gosh, I'm not.
See, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm not nearly as smart on this stuff as you are, man. That's.
I mean, he likes out of the country things. What was one of the first things that he wanted to do? Sell the highways to this Spanish company,
right?
What was that about?
Well, now he's going to California and New York, telling these people you need to bring your business here to Texas because we're awesome. We don't have a state income tax. Of course, we don't have an education system that you'll be able to hire any workers out of. So you might want to bring those too. Duh. And it's just now.
So that we can have more people.
So we can have more people.
To fill up our schools that we don't have.
That we don't educate
that we don't have.
Yeah.
And, we don't have them.
No, they close them. Yeah, it's great. Love it. Great Texas.
The Endangered Species Act.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, it would have created a panel to oversee the state's response to the listings on the Endangered Species Act. Senator Kirk Watson, who's a Democrat.
Democrat, there's his problem.
There's the problem. Said the bill developed a statewide approach to handling endangered species listings while ensuring the oil and gas industry is not crippled. So the point of this bill was to work with the Endangered Species Act and protect wildlife, but ensure that our local industry, which is oil and gas, a lot of people involved in oil and gas, and in Washington, we're saying they might not understand what's going on here in Texas. So this bill would have taken care of a federal mandate
to protect endangered
species while protecting a Texas industry.
Well, we can't have that.
Okay, so there has to be.
Why? The Texas Public Policy Foundation, have you heard of them?
No.
Big conservative group, big conservative. They said that bill would make Texas the enforcement arm for the Endangered Species Act. Isn't that terrible?
And?
That's what they said.
Well, I'm saying...
I know.
I'm saying, don't you want it if you don't like this act, and conservatives don't?
Right.
Because they could care less what happens. But don't you want it controlled in Texas?
Obviously not.
As opposed to in Washington. It's not a matter of, is the Endangered Species Act going to be enforced? It's a matter of, Clint is cutting us off. I just looked.
Clint, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. We'll bitch about things a little bit more after this.
We're trying to make you happy. We're trying to make you proud of us, Jim. We'll be right back.
Hi, Hi, this is Schutze inviting you to my R&B guitar party on Father's Day this Sunday, June the 16th at Port Davis Pub, starting George Stansdale, Cookie McKee, Jimmy Preacher Alice, Sam Whitaker, and Chester Burns, featuring Jewel, for a Sunday evening of rhythm and blues guitar, including a free chicken dinner, courtesy of Henderson Chicken, Wyatt Lads. So get there early to eat. Tickets are available now at knon.org, Beer Records, and Forever Young. Port Davis is located at 1313 South Lamar in Dallas, on the south side. Make this a Father's Day to remember with George Stansdale, Cookie McGee, Jimmy Preacher Alice, Sam Whitaker, Chester Burns, featuring Jewel, and me, Schutze, at my R&B guitar party this Sunday, June the 16th at Port Davis. This is a Knon benefit.
All this time, girl, I know that we can win.
If it's time to get rid of your old gas guzzler, the Knon Vehicle Donation Program can help. There's still a market for those old vehicles, and if you donate it, you're helping to support quality programming here on KNON. Just call 877-KNON-AUTO or go online to knon.org. We'll take care of everything from pickup to tax paperwork. That's 877-KNON-AUTO or online at knon.org.
KNON is having a crawfish boil, and you're invited to join Jimbro of Monday Evening's Cajun Zydeco Party for a Sunday evening of mudbugs and Zydeco music from the real deal JB and the Zydeco Posse. Mango's Noodle House, sushi, and crawfish of Farmer's Branch will be boiling up the bugs. We're talking live, jumbo, purged, fresh crawfish served spicy or in their radioactive sauce with corn and potatoes. We guarantee once you try them, you'll crave them. Advance tickets are on sale now at knon.org for only $5, and we will be selling crawfish for $6 per pound, with all proceeds benefiting KNON. So save the date for Sunday, June 23rd at Poor David's Pub, located at 1313 South Lamar in Dallas. Doors are at 5 p.m., and Jimbro will be in the mix with Cajun and Zydeco music till JB hits the stage. So come on down to the KNON Crawfish Boil, featuring the music of JB and the Zydeco Posse, with delicious live crawfish courtesy of Mango's Noodle House, sushi, and crawfish on Sunday, June 23rd at Poor David's Pub. This is a KNON benefit event.
Hey, babes, I'll take one.
Alrighty, we're back.
We are back. I'm David. I'm here with Bonnie, and it's Election Day. If you live in District 5 or District 14 in Dallas, get out and vote if you didn't early vote.
And if you don't know what district you live in, pull out your little yellow card, your voter registration card, and it's going to tell you what district you live in. And if you live in District 5 or District 14, today is Election Day for your city council member. Don't let 1,000 people make decisions for you.
Do you know there's going to be a lot of complaining about both of these council
people?
people.
There is, no matter who it is.
And, sorry. Do you know how many times somebody has said that and I've just said to them, and did you vote? No.
Well, no, then shut up. Mm-hmm. Shut up. Mm-hmm. I do not want to hear one word if you did not vote. You have no right. You gave it up when you didn't vote.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You can go complain to somebody else. Man, this is a trip. Did you read this about Governor Perry's office? I love this. This is Craig McDonald of Texans for Public Justice. He is he's the head of a nonprofit campaign reform group. Perry's office is an ethical black hole. Ethics reform goes in, nothing comes out. That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
I wonder what else. I've been thrown out of his office twice.
Have you?
I have.
Oh,
I wear that as.
congratulations.
Thank you. I wear that as a badge of honor.
Well, it pretty much is.
Yeah, it is. And McDonald's group, they filed a criminal complaint earlier on Friday over the governor's acknowledgement that he will veto funding if Travis County District Attorney Rosemary Lemberg did not resign.
And she didn't.
And she didn't, and he did. There you go. So he Lemberg didn't step down, so he cut $7.6 million for the Travis County Public Integrity Unit. Because he doesn't like Rosemary Lemberg.
He's trying to get a Republican appointed. Well, they're going to have a new election. If she were to step down, they'll have a new election, and Travis County's going to elect another Democrat.
It's blue, you dummy. God, I'm starting to figure out why they don't want to say
here's more money. It was called the dark money bill. It would require dark money groups, which are groups that you just donate to a 501c4, which is a political nonprofit organization, and you won't get your name reported. Well, what this would have done is it would have disclosed their high-level donors. So if you donated more than $25,000, those names would have been donated. So everybody donating $24,999 and less, names would still be. That would still be, and what that takes is, okay, let's say you have this conservative couple. They could each donate $24,999. That's $50,000 to me.
That's $50,000. Come on, give or take a penny. Come on.
It's only $50,000 though.
That's it.
And and these people are donating in the millions, and they don't want their names. Sorry.
Opponents.
Well, not sorry.
No, not sorry.
It's vetoed.
I don't care.
It's vetoed.
Yes, and the opponents to that argued that it would discourage donors and would target conservative grassroots groups that criticize moderate Republicans' voting records.
Moderate Republicans? I don't think so. Okay, I'll give you a couple of moderate Republicans that we're actually lucky to have compared to these right-wing extremists.
Okay.
Strauss, who's the Speaker of the House.
You're right. I do like him. Sort of. I mean,
well,
he is a moderate.
If the Republican Party was him,
we'd be fine. But it's not.
If the Republican Party was him, we'd be discussing actual issues.
Important stuff.
We'd be discussing policies.
And school funding.
And we'd disagree on some things.
But we can agree to disagree.
But we would negotiate. We would come up with something. Right.
Negotiation.
No, I'm sorry. That's a union word.
I
shouldn't have said that.
You can't use it.
You extremists who think that people like Bonnie should be paid the same amount of money.
God, as a guy like David.
Right. Sorry.
Swear, so sad. Man.
There was an editorial in the Washington Post this morning. I just
why do you read that rag?
It's a good editorial. It was real interesting. And this has to do with our guest on the next show.
Oh, good.
Our guest nominated Bradley Manning, who is the WikiLeaks person. He's the person who leaked all this stuff. These are people nominated him to be Grand Marshal of the San Francisco Pride Parade. And then the nomination was rescinded. And so San Francisco, they're like,
God, now the gay community is like
completely split. Completely split in San Francisco.
What's next?
Anyway, so this guy Snowden, who's holed up in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, yeah.
Well, the Washington Post, it's not that they're supporting this guy or not. What they're saying is it's really interesting that liberal groups are not up in arms about this. That had all of these the NSA and all of the wiretapping and all this happened under Bush, we'd be screaming. And because it happened under Obama,
have you not heard people screaming?
He gave several examples. He said that a bill was filed this week to stop some of this. It was filed by Rand. It was filed by Rand Paul. Well, better that it stopped than we continued. The bill was filed by Rand Paul.
Really?
And he had no co-sponsors.
Wow! Now they're turning their backs on their own.
Well. Then he had a news conference about it, and there were 5 people who showed up at the news conference. They were all Republicans. Where's the liberal outrage? And I'm not saying you and I aren't screaming about this kind of thing, because we are, and you and I get branded, it's David who's, there's Bonnie again.
Bonnie, that crazy redhead. What the hell? Yeah. What are you going to do with them?
Right. But there's not this general...
Huge, outcry.
Swelling of, it's Dianne Feinstein who was lied to in her committee 3 months ago. Now she's defending the people who lied to her.
Dianne, come on. What's happening in California? What's happening? The gay community in San Francisco is split. Dianne Feinstein is not doing right.
She's
got Alzheimer's? I don't know. She used to be like really okay.
Now, I mean, sometimes you have people, and I can give a personal example of this. Sometimes you're given background information, and okay, they're doing right.
You think?
But she's the only one speaking about it. Where are all the others who are out there who aren't on this committee who are saying, this isn't right? This really. And I'll give you an example of one. There was, and completely unrelated, there was a rape case at SMU. One guy forced another guy to have sex. It was caught.
I still can't figure out how that happens, but whatever.
One of the one that was forced, he was thrown out of the school. The one who was the victim,
set it up. Yeah.
The one who was the victim, though, he also left the school because now the DA decided not to press charges.
Right.
And there was a little bit of an uproar about it. So they called me into the office and they said to me, "We can't release this because of the age of the victim, and but look at these text messages, which one was which?" And I read them, and you couldn't tell which one was which. This wasn't a rape. This just simply wasn't a rape, and I couldn't release it because of the age of the victim.
Right.
And the age of the perpetrator, actually. But yeah. So what do you do with something? Now it could be Dianne Feinstein. She got the information, and you know what? We really did stop a.
Yeah. It could be that.
But you know what? That's Dianne Feinstein. She's on that committee. Where are the other senators? Where are the representatives?
Is she the only one on the committee?
It seems like it. No, they're letting her take the fall for it, though.
Of course they are. Because it's easier than actually standing up.
But that's in Congress. What about outside of Congress? Geez, where are all the other libs who are saying, no, we shouldn't be doing this? And that's what my guests are talking about. That all these WikiLeaks that came out, all this stuff that came out.
That was pretty important.
Why are we focusing on, that was classified information, and not...
Well, what is mine?
Well, and not focusing on...
what they're taking
that
from
information.
You and I.
That information was, pretty.
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff. I'm glad I know it now.
Me too. So and now the government. We got to know. And well, they've had a dossier on me for years, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure because
because I'm just
you're just a lunatic.
I'm just like that.
Yeah.
I'm just crazy. And don't think they don't have one on you, buddy.
I don't think so, because I would never say anything against my government.
Yeah, right. That's why you wear that shirt.
Yeah, I was the first person who interviewed Cindy Sheehan. What did you do? Seriously, she was
really
on my show. Yeah, she was. We were the first ones to ever interview her.
That's very cool. Yeah. I mean, that's like a badge of honor.
I think so.
It really is.
Yeah.
I've had Eddie Bernice on the show before. She's very good.
She is sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is where you get to hear these things where I don't know of any mainstream media, which is now being bought up by.
So it's all consolidating.
Yeah, it's all consolidating. Yeah, into like five corporate groups.
Do you know what I like about that? There is now no TV station in Dallas owned in Dallas. We have no local TV anymore.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, wow. That was one thing about that.
Well, we still have KERA.
Oh, well, that's true.
It's public. So I guess that doesn't count.
That doesn't really count.
Yeah, it's not owned by the government, Well, we're lucky because we work here on KNON. Mm-hmm. We don't work here. We volunteer here on KNON.
Oh, you don't get paid?
Oh.
See, I get paid a lot more than she does. And Clint, that's the way it should be.
That's because he's a guy.
Thank you, Rick Perry, because
we'll have none of those women having equal pay.
Oh.
See, now you can sue them. Now I can sue them.
Now you can sue them.
Yeah, right.
I should have waited. I'm sorry.
And what would be the point of that? They don't have any money either.
So if you'd like to make a donation, the number is 972-647-1893.
Or KNON.org. You don't have to wait for Pledge Drive to make a donation. You can do that all the time.
How do you like that? We are so programmed. How many Pledge Drive shows have you done?
Jesus.
Do you know I counted a couple of years ago, and I had done over 250 Pledge Drive shows.
It kind of, do you go home going 972-647-1893? Yep. I remember you used to come on after me on Wednesdays. Yeah. That was fun. Yep. Back in the olden days.
But anyway, but I thought that was a real interesting editorial, that there is no liberal outrage about all of these leaks and them going after the leaker, as opposed to addressing
what they've
all
done.
of these civil liberties that we no longer have.
Yeah, because I'm not using those anymore anyway. I'm going to have to start wearing that button. I'm not using those anymore.
Using those civil liberties anymore anyway. So
what do we need those for?
I don't really need those. Do you think, just to wrap this up because we're almost out of time, do you think Rick Perry has a chance to get reelected again?
I don't know. I didn't think so last time, or the time before that, or the time before that. And now he's been here forever. Yeah.
Texas needs to change its law back to one term, maybe two.
If it's another Republican. Okay, if it's a Republican, 1, and if it's a Democrat, 2. How's that?
David,
would that work? No.
I get
the only way Rick Perry does not get reelected is if a strong Republican runs against him.
Yeah, then that's Greg Abbott who's talking about it. He'd be worse.
That's the only way.
He'd be worse.
He's worse.
He is worse. He is worse.
I mean, I'd rather take David Dewhurst.
That's the only way it happens.
And you're right now.
But this used to be a Democratic state. It did.
Well, of course, until George Bush came in.
It was. This was like way back.
So
I went to Kay Bailey Hutchison's office one time, and she has this great, big, huge picture thing on her wall in her office. Was her office, and it has all the senators from Texas. Most of them were Democrats. Up until
well, George Bush was only the 3rd Republican governor.
Oh my God! And we picked him. Oh no, we didn't. No,
you picked him.
I didn't do it. I swear to God.
You did it.
Been a Democrat, yellow dog Democrat for many years.
You did it.
See,
obviously,
that's what happens. It's a woman thing.
It is a woman thing, which is why you shouldn't be paid equally.
That's what Governor Perry says. So what are you going to do?
That wraps it up for us on Get Off My Lawn. Jim,
Get off my lawn.
I hope you're proud of us, Jim.
Jim will be back next week.
Or he's going to be going never again.
Yeah. Well, Bonnie, we will have to do this again.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next week.
All right.
I'll be on the next show.
On the next show.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.